So growing English lavender, as I said, in the South Australian climate, I've pretty much mentioned most of this already. It's known for fragrance and its resilience and its suitability for the environment. I went through the climates from the Mediterranean to here is extremely similar. It can get slightly hotter here, although I haven't said that, it got to 40 degrees last year in Spain. In fact, it even did in London for a couple of days. Now, most of our plants are 2 to 3 years old. They will be entering peak production. They generally last for about 15 years, and the best production years are probably 2 to 3 years to maybe 10. And then they start on the decline, but they will live for 20 and still look fairly reasonable, but they get woody every year. So every year you cut them down and you leave about a centimetre of green. If you cut into the wood of lavender, you kill it. So every year you leave a little bit of green on it and it will come back beautiful the next year. If you consistently don't cut it and just allow it to grow, each year it will grow 6 inches to a foot, and at year 10 it will be entirely woody with just a top ridge of flowers. We grow Lavandula angustifolia bridestone, which is extremely hardy. It has a low camphor level. It's a beautiful plant. There are more beautiful lavenders. English lavender tends to be a little bit grey and a little bit shorter and not as beautiful, but it produces grade 1 oil. It's the most used oil in therapeutics and also in perfumes. And we had a small chemistry set that I bought online because it was just going to be a hobby originally. And we distilled a few of the lavender plants that we produced just to see, you can see a bit of English lavender there. It's not entirely striking like the Spanish that we have, but it's still beautiful. But you can see there some of the equipment that we used originally. It was a camphor burner and it was a distillation kit that I bought on the equivalent to Timu at the time. And we produced our own oil and then we produced some products, and it was really just spiraled from that we came up with the idea of making it a business and trying to be successful, and could we actually do that? And since then we've invested in a lot more equipment. We have a lot more stainless steel equipment in here. We try and keep it as aseptic as we can. We have a large unit here which is stainless steel, and we have a stainless steel unit here as well, which we use for making our balms because it needs to be a high temperature but controlled very well for the beeswax and various other oils that go in there. And I stand here most nights cogitating on what I can do to make more products to try and make the business a success. We have currently around about 40 products. They're all online, you can see them. There's a business card on here somewhere, and you can find the website on there. It's lilieslavender.com. And yeah, so we make a lot of products. These are just some of them. Some of them are on here as well. So we use completely naturally. Now, I've worked in the chemical industry for a long time. It's afforded me the opportunity to come to Australia. Without it, you couldn't sustain farming in Australia. It's a necessity, but it's one of what you would call an evil necessity. But unfortunately, it's needed. I work for an agricultural company. I'm the merchandise manager for the chemicals. But I thought that on a small scale, especially, it was more sustainable not to use chemicals and better for us and better for the public that we sell to as well, which undoubtedly it is. Now, we've been selling now for about 2 years. We sell all of our products at market. Look at me, looking rather resplendent in my beard. I shaved that off midway through winter, which is a bit crazy, but I give in to Pink because she didn't like it too much. So she said it made me look old. Well, I'm getting there, but anyway, so we do Victor Harbour markets, we do Goolwa, What else do we do? We've done lots and lots of markets all around South Australia for a number of years, just testing the waters, but we really enjoy Victor Harbour and Goolwa. There's lots of tourism, there's always new faces, and there's some similar faces that we see regularly. So at the front, I've bought our products before, so if you ever come to Victor Harbour, we're at the Artisan, we also do the beachside, and we do the Goolwa on the wharf. Just say hello. We're always there, pushing the Strath narrative. We've had a bit of help along the way. There's a tremendous gentleman at Victor Harbour who's the town crier, who always comes up to us and rings his bell and entices people over. So we're getting some help. We actually have our online business as well, like I mentioned, Lavender.com. Now that was growing, I wouldn't say exponentially, but it was growing at a fair rate for a while. It flatlined probably 6 months ago, and I think it's just economy. The economy has pretty much sucked for a short while. We're all hoping with interest rates coming down, it'll pick back up. And then, so what it affords us the opportunity to do at this point is we've reinvested everything. So we have got all the new equipment, we've got our online setup, all cost. And what we're planning next is for potentially applying to have our farm as a walk-in for free. So people can come along when it's flowering. We'll have a shop and hopefully a cafe, but we haven't given any of this to the council yet. We're trying to get all of our ducks in a row first, so it's as painless as possible, but we'll see how that goes. Now, alternatively, there's also something on the table for us. We're thinking of potentially opening a shop in the town, and we'll see how that goes. We think it'll be good for us, we think it'll be good for the town. I'm not quite 100% sure, I'm sure more use are across it. What's happening with the old IGA, I've heard a few things about a pound shop, or maybe it's going to be Drake's, but there'll be a few small shops around that. Sorry?
The reject shop is building.
Is that what it's going to be? Definitely.
Well, whatever they're changing their name to, yes, it's a reject.
In England it's called Poundland. It wouldn't be my first choice, but if we can plonk our lavender shop in front of it, then we'll do that and pretty it up a bit. But that is our hopes and aspirations for the future, is to grow the business enough so that we can retire from our current positions, or at least I can. I'm sure Ping would love to, but she also enjoys writing books and various other things. But yeah. I'll pay homage to our bees just for a little while. Well, I've got one Australian flow hive. It's the ingenious idea of an Aussie from New South Wales and his father, who retired and decided he needed something to do. So they came up with the flow frame. And the way that works, the bees will be in the brood box with the queen, but instead of a honey super, the normal Langstroth honey super that you put on a beehive, they invented something called a flow hive, and what that is, it's plastic inserts. And they break apart when you turn an Allen key in the system, and basically the hexagonal honeycomb splits, and it allows the honey to flow down. Now, they're not connected, so what the bees actually do, and they were worried about this when they were inventing it, but what the bees actually did was fill in the gaps with their wax, prepare the cell, and then they fill the flow hive with beautiful honey. And then all you do is you go along, and you can't quite see it here, but there's an Allen key, which looks a bit like a coat hanger, but if you call it an Allen key, you put that in the top, you twist it, and the flow frame opens, you put a nozzle here, and it flows out, and you get all this honey. Now that's about 3 litres. So I think in the first year we probably got about 50 litres from one hive. So we said, wow, that's incredible, we're going to buy a lot more. So we bought 2 more hives, and we put them in. You can barely see one of them in the background there. But yes, we had a drought, which meant less nectar, which meant 0 honey. So we went from 1 hive producing lots and lots of honey to 3 hives producing 0. But we're hopeful this year with a bit more rain, we can get a lot more honey out of it. We did give a lot of it away to friends, and we did actually sell a little bit. So that is pretty much on the edge of the lavender field. You can see the lavender here. This is how we built it originally. I did a sandstone base. I got some honeycomb shaped pavers off Gumtree for free, which is always a bargain. And then we made the thing. And then down here is one of our, I didn't actually introduce the dog to you, I should have done really. We've got two dogs. We have one, which is a Jack Russell we bought from Victor Harbour. Her name's Lily. Ping's name actually stands for water lily, so the farm are named after both of them. But here you can see our other dog, who's a rescue dog. He's a Westie. He had an interesting nickname, and I won't tell you what it is because it's a swear word. But it's because when we first got him, he chewed everything. He chewed his shoes, he chewed the outdoor chairs, and he was just really nervous because he was mistreated. But now he's a lovely dog. He's great with dogs, humans. Not much with rabbits or small birds, but that's the same with Lily. So one of the problems we had early on was that we would have a lot of rabbits destroying the lavender. So we got Lily in, and then she got rid of the problem. She was pulling them out of holes and chasing them away, and we don't really have that problem anymore, which is awesome. But yeah, if you've never owned a flow hive, if you want to come and have a look, maybe when the flowers are in bloom, you're more than welcome to come along. Just contact us. My phone number is on the business card. We also have email addresses and stuff. You're more than welcome to just wander up and have a look. We got some Italian honeybees from a guy in Athelston. They're extremely placid. I still wear a bee cape, but I no longer wear gloves and stuff with them. They actually swarmed while I was away at a conference last year, and Ping had to then go and take a cardboard box and cut the branch on the tree and allow them to drop in. And she did all that unaided, and they were extremely mellow. They've never attacked me. I have been stung once, but I think I was pressing his little head down while I was trying to get one of the things in. So yeah, you can get fairly close. You can't actually stick your face anywhere near the front or give the beehive a rattle. It sounds like common sense, but we did have a visitor, one of Ping's friends, who come round and did exactly that. Oh, bees! And then they chased her up the path and stung her on the head. So it's okay, she lived. But yeah, there you go.